What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today I have 3 new accessories from Vortex Optics we're going to talk about. Not a huge release, but they sent me these 3 optics and I figured I'd turn the camera on and do a very quick video. So one of them is going to be a cantilever mount. So it's a 30mm, also available in a 1-inch mount for your low power variable optic. Number 2 is a pro leveling kit that will help you level the optic properly in the mount. And this is a very simple, inexpensive way to make sure your optic is mounted correctly. And then this here is a new Pro Torx wrench. So they have a current Torx wrench. This is the Pro version. And I am going to tell you the differences between this one and the old one right now. So let's start with that. One thing I like, and I don't know if the old one did, this comes in this nice little tube that locks on itself. So it helps keep the bits and the wrench organized. This holder for the bits goes right on the wrench, and everything goes right in the holder, and it's just a great way to keep everything neat and organized. So they gave it a wider variety of inch pounds as far as adjustability. It goes from 10 inch pounds all the way up to 90 now. They gave you more bits as well. I think there's like 13 in here, and it gives you a 10mm bit, which is great because I always lose the 10mm one, I think, like most people out there. So they gives you a wide variety of like Torx and most common sizes that you'll likely need. To adjust it, there's this silver dial on the middle here. You push down on the silver dial and then just spin it. And as you do that, it adjusts from 90 foot-pounds, 90 inch pounds down to 10 inch pounds. Another nice thing on the top here is when you put the bit in place, the bit gets locked and you have to push up on it to release the bit. So the bit's not going to fall out or come out when you tighten things down. And if you push it hard, it actually shoots the bit out pretty far. So if you want to like poke a friend's eye out or something, you can do that. Don't do that. I'm kidding. The other thing I want to stress with this is the importance of tightening down your optics correctly. If you over tighten down an optic, that can mess with your zero and actually break the optic if you tighten it down too much. And if it's too loose, obviously the optic can move and shift, which is also going to affect the zero and lose a screw, and then everyone at the range makes fun of you, and I don't want that to happen to you. So that's, pricing. Let me quickly tell you the pricing. Just keep in mind, all of these are MSRP. Vortex on their website sells it at MSRP, but their MAP pricing, their minimum advertised pricing, may be lower at some of the dealers. So maybe you find this stuff for less. I don't know. At the time I'm making this video, it hasn't been released, so I don't know. Anyway, the torque wrench we just went over is $149.99. I know that's not cheap, but it is a very nice wrench. The cantilever mount is $119.99. Seems like a fair price there. And this leveling kit is only $29.99. We're going to talk about this next, but for $29.99, it makes it mounting an optic absolutely idiot-proof. All right, next up, let's talk about this Pro leveling kit. It's very simple, but I think it's very important. If your optic is not level inside of the mount, your point of aim to point of impact is not going to be accurate. And the further out you're shooting, the more that gets like magnified or exaggerated or whatever. So it is very important. I think in the directions or the manual in this, it said off by a degree, missed by a mile. And obviously that's an exaggeration, but what Vortex means is if your optic is off by a degree, your point of impact is not going to be accurate. So it's important to have it level in there. What this kit comes with is going to be a small little hex wrench if you need to adjust. This here is called the Picatinny clip-on bubble level. So it's a piece of aluminum. The clip that clips onto the Picatinny rail is adjustable, so we'll work with different rails, different size Picatinny rails, because they're all not the same even though they're supposed to. But anyway, you put this on the pick rail on the gun to make sure the gun's level, because if the gun's way off, then the optic's going to be way off and it's not going to help. So you need to make sure the gun is level. Once the gun is level, it gives you another small bubble level that you can put on top of the optic. I'm going to put it here on top of the mount because I don't have an optic in here, but you want to put it on the optic, some flat surface. So hopefully maybe take the top turret off if you can or whatever. Put it on the top of the optic to make sure the optic is level inside of the mount. And it's not hard. It's very, very simple, easy as that way. Then you take your little Vortex torque wrench and you tighten down the screws on here with the Torx wrench. Another thing I've heard a lot of people say, and I don't know if this makes a difference, but I've heard so many people say it, I just do it to be safe, is they don't tighten down all the screws at once. Like they'll hand tighten all 8 screws or whatever there are. Then tighten down one to the max rating, and then do the cross screw, then do one, then the cross screw, then do one, and then the screw across, etc., etc. And it's supposed to make a difference. I don't know if it does, but I figured it can't hurt to do it that way. So that's what I do. Last, but certainly not least, is going to be the cantilever mount. So this is going to be a mount for a low power variable optic. It's available in 30mm or 1-inch size, so you can get either size. It's made from 6061 aluminum. It has a anodized finish, and it's like a black matte type of finish. It's not shiny at all. One thing I love when companies do is I love when they engrave the inch pounds, not only on the rings, but also on the base as well. So you know exactly how much to tighten this down, especially with your new fancy torque wrench that you're gonna buy as well. But once this box is gonna go in the garbage the second the video's over, and instead of having to look up the inch pounds, it's right on there. I'm constantly swapping optics with what I do here on YouTube, so I love that that's on there just to kind of make it idiot proof for me. This cantilever mount has about a 2-inch offset, so it moves it forward about 2 inches, which is ideal on like an AR-15, but it can work on a lot of guns. It gives you a couple extra screws, and it gives you a hex wrench, but again, you don't need the hex wrench if you have the Vortex Pro torque wrench, whatever it's called. That is all I have for you, boys and girls. Thank you very, very much for watching. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. If you think I deserve it, please subscribe to the channel. You might as well go ahead and check out Natchez. Natchez has a huge selection of Vortex products. They're the biggest supporter of my channel. I like to thank them in every video. And if you need anything from Vortex, I don't know if they're going to have this stuff, but they pretty much have the whole Vortex line, so I'm guessing they will. The shirt is from TriStar Trading. They have lots of really cool designs. This is one of my favorite. Make America Healthy. Again, the link to Natchez, to Vortex, to this is all down you know where if you want to check it out. Back to subscribing to the channel. Do that before you leave. Subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Stay blessed and be good.